Okay, everybody, welcome and thanks for joining. My name is Ralph Russo. I am the Director of Information Technology Programs at Tulane University School of Professional Advancement. We've got a short presentation for you that we hope answers some of your questions, and we're going to get to questions and answers at the end. In the meantime, you could put questions in the chat box if you'd like. We will make sure to get to all of them. Benjamin, if you could mute, there you go. Thank you. So with me today is the Information Technology Department Associate Director, Bill Riles. Bill, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you, Ralph. You'll be hearing from me a little bit later. I'm Bill Riles. I'm the Associate Director of the department, as Ralph said, and I'm one of your advocates. So you'll be working with me in selecting classes. You'll probably see me in class. I'll be potentially one of your instructors. And I assist Ralph in running the department on curriculum and academic and things, content that are in the courses. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Bill. Also with us today is Dan Rahe. Dan, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the meeting with us today. My name is Dan Rahe. I am a Senior Academic Advisor at the School of Professional Advancement, and I advise the undergraduate students in IT. I've been here for just over 4 years now, and if you are working towards an undergraduate degree, then I would be the person you want to speak to get your classes lined up, transfer credits evaluated, and so on and so forth.
Thank you, Dan. So you see, we've brought folks with us that will actually be working with you as you proceed through your Tulane education. We're the folks that you'd be working with on a day in, day out basis to solve problems or to ask questions of. So that's why not with us today is Brittany Yandel, our graduate academic advisor. She's also somebody you'd be working with. So first of all, what is the School of Professional Advancement at Tulane? So Tulane University, top 50 US university, School of Professional Advancement was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana, believe it or not, to address kind of a situation like we're going through today, to get medical people in the community to come together to solve a problem. So you had something that was at a university that was very much interested in what was going on in the world, that was connected to the community. So we're similar in that way. Since 1886, we've been a continuing education school, and which services adult learners and career changers and also traditional students. So why is it important that, and why is it better perhaps to go to a school that's been around for 150 years, working with adult learners and career changers? It's because that's what we're used to doing. We have a level of flexibility and a level of understanding that you may or may not see at other programs or other schools. So why SOPA IT? Why our information technology? Well, that's what this entire event is about, to tell you not just what we do, but why that matters to you. So some of the things we're going to be talking about today are our online courses and why ours are different than other universities, other offerings, and we think better. We're going to be talking about our programs, specifically our degrees and our courses, and also about our faculty, which we think is another differentiator in terms of choosing Tulane SOPA as a place to get your degree. Our student support is unparalleled, and you'll be hearing more about that from Dr. Riles later on in the presentation. And believe it or not, we're also affordable. When you talk about a top US university, we're surprisingly affordable and competitive, and also our flexibility and how you can continue to live your life even during a pandemic, unfortunately, and still go to school at Tulane. And so, and again, top US university, and all of the networking, connectivity, relationships, events, all of the things that are associated with you being associated with a top university are here for you. You are very much a full part of the, even if you're an online student, you're very much a full part of the university. You'll be going to the graduation if you want. Last year when we had an actual on-ground graduation. We had the CEO of Apple Computers of Apple was our keynote speaker at our graduation. So you'll be very much a student. You can come into New Orleans anytime, come on the campus, go to the library, avail yourself of everything, Tulane groups, so on and so forth. So even if you're an online student, you're just really a Tulane student who happens to go to school online. So next up. So speaking about online learning at the School of Professional Advancement Information Technology Department, we've made significant investment and paid particular attention to delivering our courses both on ground and online. In fact, our courses all stem from a very tight procedure in which we map the university's mission statement to the school's mission, to the program's learning objectives, to the course learning objectives, all the way down to module learning objectives. So we are very solidly constructed, whether you're online or on ground, to give you a full academic experience. In fact, one of the things we do is we focus on our programs, on the information technology programs, in a couple of different ways. One is academic and applied. You're going to hear more about that from me in a minute. The other thing is our courses on information technology come at you from three ways. One of those ways is obviously technical. Courses have a technical component, and you'll be hearing about our labs in a minute. But they also have very much a process and governance component as well. So you learn not just the technical aspects, but also the process to repeat success and to govern IT. And then third, we come at it with a certain business acumen, so that you not only learn the technical and the governance, but you're able to talk to people who aren't in the information technology group from a business perspective. So if we move on from there. Yeah, so online learning, I'm going to turn you over to Bill. Bill, did you want to grab this slide?
Sure. I'll speak just an overall view about online learning. Professor Russo covered some of the great points. Something I like to think about is myself and like your other fellow faculty members, SOPA is dedicated towards working with adult learners. And because we've been there, we've been in the same environment you are. Myself, it wasn't until I was in my late 30s before I stepped into my first graduate school, and I understood that I really enjoyed learning. And because what made it so valuable is that I learned things that I can apply directly to my career. So myself and your other faculty members, we've been there. We've had full-time families, full-time jobs, full-time career, and we're going to go to school full-time too. So this is a major undertaking doing that. So this coursework is all designed around that. Now, these online classes, they're much different than what you may have seen in the past with online classes, and it is significantly different what you may have seen recently when we've taken Tulane University and other universities across the country in the past few months because of COVID-19, where we did an extremely rushed job of moving a traditional on-ground course to online. What we're talking about for online learning is far different from that. These are not your old school online classes. These classes that were built with a full pedagogy, with instructional design, industry best practices. They're extremely interactive. There's a synchronous and asynchronous components. What that means is, like with an online course, a lot of it is asynchronous, which means that you can do the coursework at your own time. You can do the readings, you can answer the quizzes, submit pages, things like that. There's also a synchronous portion as well, where you meet with your faculty, where you have lectures and discussions. And more importantly, what I found is you meet with other students. So you're not in this by yourself. Some of my students have taken our online classes. They've developed lifelong relationships with other students because you'll form study groups. You're getting in classes using Zoom like you are right now, but you'll go through a project together and you'll come back and present it to the instructor. So you have a lot of those components that are valuable to a traditional on-ground class that you'll find in the online format as well. You have student-to-student interactions, you have student-to-faculty interactions, and really a high-end advanced videos and interactive type simulations. And if you look at the metrics right here, you'll see that we've developed a lot of courses. There's a lot of students who've attended online classes and coursework. But something to point out is our faculty. Overall, the School of Professional Advancement has over 190 trained faculty for online instructors. So these aren't just instructors who've been teaching, then, oh, now you're going to teach something online. They have been directly and specifically trained on how to deliver content, how to interact with you as the students in an online format. Online learning is not something new to Tulane. It's really unique that you'll be access to a elite university such as Tulane with world-renowned faculty with an institution like Tulane, but delivered online at the time that's convenient to you and at a geographical location that's not necessarily New Orleans. So this is really exciting to be able to do this. As I mentioned, online learning is not new to Tulane. We're actually, in our department, the Information Technology Department, has been seen as leaders in this space, in delivering effective, innovative online learning delivered different ways. The way we approach online learning is kind of different. It's gained national attention. We've been invited to speak at national higher ed conferences on how we're delivering and some of the things we're doing. So what you're going to see is completely unique from any other university in the way online learning has been done in the past. We can move on.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. So as Bill said, we're offering a high quality online course, and it's a quality course that just happens to be online. And so earlier I mentioned approaching our courses from both an applied and academic direction. Well, the courses are fully academic. When we constructed these degrees, we did so with input from published information from Association of Computing Machinery and the NSA and NICE programs and ABET, which are our accrediting bodies. And so, but then beyond that, they're also applied. And that's the part that I want to speak about right now. We have an industry advisory board. If you go to our website, you can take a look at the members of our board. That industry advisory board is comprised of tech leaders from major corporations, from small companies to huge companies. We've got Microsoft on there. We've got Google on there. We've got the ex-CIO of the Department of Defense, the ex-CIO of the state of California, local CIOs, the CTO of the city of New Orleans. So we've got this board full of people who advises us on how to make our courses applied. What does that mean, applied? That means how to make our courses apply to what's going on in the real world and industry. So the things you learn in these courses are directly applicable to what you do in industry. So not only are you learning what you need to know in industry, but also how to engage in industry, since our online courses are built around activities which you would do in industry. So a distance team working on an IT problem is not just something you'll see in industry, it's something you'll do in our courses. And so that makes it easier for you to transition into industry work. Another example of this is we've got a faux company, a fake company, which has been built out with a board of directors, an org chart, a mission statement, products, a website, and it actually has a real technical backend that mimics a enterprise system. So some of your projects will be, and the name of the company is South Balance. Some of the projects you'll be working on will be to work on South Balance problems, not from a greenfield kind of conceptual level, but from an actual addressing a problem in a company in their enterprise IT. From a perspective of, you have something built, something changes, what do you do? So you'll be solving real world type problems, not just maybe writing a paper or taking a multiple choice exam. We really built our courses to be a lot more interactive than that. Next up. So one program, many options. We've got information technology. We offer multiple degrees. So we offer 2 master's degrees. They're both 100% online. One is information technology management, and the other is cybersecurity management. Each one of those offers concentrations that are optional. These are just some optional concentration. So if you're in the information technology master's program, management master's program, if you want, you can get a concentration in cybersecurity without taking extra courses, or homeland security or emergency operations. Same thing with the masters in cybersecurity management. If you want to, you can go ahead and get an emergency ops concentration or a homeland security concentration. You can also, if you choose to, work on graduate certificates while you're in our master's degree programs. So you can, while you're getting your IT management master's degree, you can add an IT strategic planning or technology architecture cert to that. You could stack it in there. You wouldn't have to take extra courses to earn those certifications. They'd be stacked right into your master's degree. If you're in the cybersecurity management degree program, you'd be able to get a cyber defense or a cyber leadership certificate, and you could stack that right into your degree, and without taking extra courses. So we've got some options that will load up not just your knowledge and load up your capability, they'll also load up your resume. At the bachelor's level, we got a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology degree, which you'll choose from one of 5 concentrations, which are on the screen: app development, product and program support, which is an interesting one, very unique. It's how to support products and how to support programs with modern best practice, including agile and lean approaches to those things, DevOps. You'll learn how to manage that stuff. Those jobs are in demand. System and network admin, cloud and virtualization is the 4th option for a concentration. And of course, cybersecurity at the bachelor's degree level is the 5th option. Those are all of our degree programs, whether it's for the bachelor's or the master's, will wind up in a capstone course. That capstone course will pull together all of the information that you learned in your program into one course with an assignment, and will force you to think about all the things you learned and then put them together to solve a problem in your capstone course. That capstone course project is not only reviewed by your professor, it's reviewed by myself or Dr. Riles, and also by a member of our industry board. So you will get feedback from industry people, from the department, and from your instructor. When you walk out the door with your degree, we hope you're leaving with a degree. We hope you're leaving with perhaps a certificate or a concentration, and you'll be leaving with a project deliverable under your arm, which is something to look back on and maybe even to present as an example of the type work you do for your portfolio. So we think we've got a really good, we've got a really beneficial path for you, whether you're at the bachelor's degree level or the master's degree level. So do you want to move on from there? So differentiators, all right? This is a lot of what we're talking about today is not just who we are and what we do, but also what makes us different from other courses. And Bill hit the nail on the head when he said that our online courses and all of our courses really are built in a way that makes them top level. That's the people who do videos for our online courses and for our on-ground courses is a Hollywood studio does our videos. That's the level of quality we bring to them. We have interactive graphics and designed exercises that go beyond just a multiple choice test, go far beyond that. In fact, we try to gamify some of those assignments so that they're more interesting. Of course, you'll have reading. Of course, you'll have lecture materials. We already spoke about asynchronous, which means you log on and you do your work whenever you have a chance. And then the courses have a synchronous component, meaning once every 3 weeks or a month, you'll get on with your instructor and all of the other students, and you could ask questions and you could kick stuff around and talk about it. We've also got discussion boards inside of our courses, which we like to think are lively discussions. We've also got over 250 lab experiences that are completely available, whether you're on ground or online. And those lab experiences, whether you're an undergraduate or a graduate student, are going to be, of course, tailored to the work you're doing. So with 250 plus labs spread throughout our program, you're going to get that hands-on technical part, so that even if you get a cybersecurity management degree or an IT management, you will have had some hands-on with actual lab assignments. And a lab assignment might anything from a project schedule to a cyber trying to breach a firewall or configuring a firewall, all the way down to working on a server in terms of configuring or access management. It could be across the whole gamut of our programs, cloud exercises, those type things. So we've got these labs, and we keep adding to those labs. The slide says 200. We've got over 250 right now. We've also got a volunteer cyber competition team. So if you want to really go way down on your cybersecurity skills, whether you're an undergraduate or a graduate, you could join our cyber competition team and compete against other universities. We've got a women in technology mentorship program where females from industry who have achieved executive status volunteer to mentor our students in terms of getting used to the culture of IT and what's expected of you and how to make a good showing and how to advance yourself. So you don't just get our education, you get input from somebody who's perhaps a Tulane graduate who's gone on to become an executive and now is going to take some time every month just to have a conversation with you to help you succeed. I think that's pretty important. And you also have an opportunity to earn professional certifications, industry certifications, like we're a partner with Amazon Web Services, so you'll be able to take cloud courses and go off and get some certifications. We're also partnered with CompTIA, so Server Plus, Cloud Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus. You'll be able to take a course which counts towards your degree program, but which also gets you ready to take a industry certification and get that, for example, Security Plus cert. So when you leave the university, you not only have your degree and your portfolio and perhaps some university certs and concentrations, you've also got a professional certification under your arm, so that when you leave us, you've got a really strong resume, and you've gone hands-on, and you know how to approach things from a technical perspective, from a governance perspective, and from a business perspective. Next up. Another thing we're really proud of, and you'll catch me bragging all the time about it, is our faculty. We've got 4 faculty members up there who are amazing instructors. I encourage you, though, as you do your due diligence on what university to attend, just go on out to our website and take a look at our faculty. We have bios of our faculty up. In addition to the instructors you're looking at right here, we've got a cybersecurity exec from DXC Tech, that's Wes. With Kara's a PhD and also is an Agile expert at IBM. Joe D'Alessandro is a CTO for a company that concentrates on cybersecurity. You could catch him at any given day in Australia, or we have students from all over the world. We've also gotten the best and brightest instructors from all over the world if they're teaching online. Michelle Bousquet is a digital forensics, highly in demand expert and consultant. And like I said, go out to the website. We've got Anthony Bustamante, who's a U.S. Air Force cyber offensive warrior. We've got Dr. Chris Bogan, who is a cybersecurity expert, who's on the front lines protecting major corporations, but as a consultant on their system. So I encourage everybody to go out to the website, take a look at the people that are going to be teaching you, because not only are they your instructors, they are also right now currently working in industry and experts. And that means that they're also networking for you. So they won't be just your instructor. They are people that you'll want to know who are actually out in industry right now. They just haven't been sitting back at the university. They're out in industry. So you're not only making relationships with your fellow classmates through all these interactive exercises, you're also making relationships with instructors who are industry leaders right now. And I think we can all figure out why that's beneficial, right? So next up. So with this, I'm going to turn you back to Bill to talk about potential career options.
All right, thank you, sir. So everyone, just take a minute to look over this list of potential career options. I'd say potential because it is that. It's not a full exhaustive list. There's obviously way more, but it's a good example, and it's a reference of the type of jobs that you might be qualified for, or you will be qualified for after you graduate. For example, if you graduate in our master's degree program in IT management, you will not be guaranteed a job as a CIO. However, I will say that there's a high percentage of our students that graduate and move on to executive level jobs, such as CIO or CISSO or some other VP role. So it does happen, but we're not going to say guarantee as soon as you get a job, as soon as you graduate, you're going to get a job. But this is a great list of the type of jobs you'll be qualified for and the type of jobs that many of our graduates move on to. It is not just for our graduate and master's degree as well. Same thing for the undergrad. You can look at the BS and IT. Different job descriptions. And here's something to note here. In technology, job descriptions change daily, almost hourly. So these job descriptions, not only do they change, they grow. So there's no way we can put on one slide every type of job description that companies are advertising for in technology, because it's constantly changing, it's constantly growing. But these are some good general categories. This is a good sampling of the type of jobs that many of our graduates are offered, undergrad and graduate. Additionally, I want to say that many of our students complete internships along the way. As you're working through your coursework, we are in constant contact with industry professionals that are hiring our graduates, and they'll call us and say, hey, I need 3 developers doing this thing, or I need some cyber engineers, or I need a program manager, or I need a network engineer. Do you have anybody that can work? So that gains our students a valuable experience from a networking perspective and a resume builder. So many of our students complete internships along the way of the coursework, which then leads to opportunities in the workforce. We regularly send out, once you become a student, become part of the family, Professor Russo will flood your inbox with job opportunities. Everybody, we're continually being approached by industry leaders and companies looking for technology experts. And so the opportunities are there. And sometimes, hey, we need X amount of people. Here's a job description. Send me some students. Or sometimes it's, hey, I need to hire somebody right now, and I want to hire someone from the Tulane IT program. Tell me somebody who you want to hire. We get that sometimes, and how that works. How do we pick the people that we send? Is your relationship with your instructors. Professor Russo mentioned our great faculty, how they're not just delivering content to you in a lecture format. They will advocate for you on your behalf. So depending on how you work that system and how you become the over and above students, we offer in a second a lot of professional development opportunities. I'll talk about that in a second. But students who go over and above their work and build these relationships with the instructors and the other faculty members stand out, and you get the first shot. A lot of these jobs are being offered. So, and you go over and above the classroom content, those professional certifications. You get your degree, you get a professional certification, you get a graduate certification. We try to package you as the student as the complete picture, not just, hey, I took this class and I got an A in it. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. It's a good transition as we talk about the student support and success. Once you become a student, and especially a graduate, but even as a student, you become part of the family. You're not just a student that, hey, we want to get you enrolled in class, we give you a class and you out on your own. You're part of this overall ecosystem. Now, what does that mean? It means you have us. You have myself, Professor Russo, a phone call away. And I can't tell you the valuable networking opportunities that we can bring to just about everyone. You've got award-winning academic advisors like Mr. Regie on the phone. You're going to hear from a little bit later. Expert faculty, Professor Russo mentioned that. A lot of career advice. You'll have, beyond your faculty and your professors, you'll have a dedicated career advice specialist that can work with you on creating your resume, creating your LinkedIn profile, how to interview for some of these technology positions, things like that you can't find anywhere, and how to tailor everything based off these projects and this coursework you're going to learn throughout your matriculation as a Tulane student. So how you can highlight. So we want to highlight some of the projects that you do. So when you go into an interview with someone says, hey, have you ever done this thing? You ever set up a digital transformation plan? You ever done a cybersecurity risk assessment? You can answer that truthfully, even without on-the-job experience. You say, yes, I've done that. I've done that for Tulane University. Not only can I tell you that I've done that, let me show you. You'll have a deliverable. You can say, look at what I did. I did that while I was a student at Tulane. They're going to say, okay, great. We want you to do that for us. So the overall student support is not just about getting you through your coursework, getting you your next A, and getting your next course, and get you to that graduation field. We want you to do that, but it's everything else around it. This overall network of peers. And I can't tell you, I mentioned it earlier, if you're online class or on ground, the networking opportunities with other students and peers. I can't tell you how many students have gained professional opportunities just from networking with their peer students. You'll meet other students who has doing something somewhere else, even across the country, and they need a network engineer or a cybersecurity expert or application developer or something. Their contact makes the contact, and that is beyond valuable. Several students have told me that they've gotten in the door to relationships and conversation with some of these executives just because they are a Tulane IT student. The reputation that we have in the local area and nationally is really growing as quality output, quality students, and quality professionals. So I've had several students tell me, hey, look, I've been trying to get in the door, just have a talk with one of these executives. I can't even get a phone call. But as soon as they found out that I'm in the Tulane IT program, they accepted my call. So that, because we have these type relationships, so that's a value that we can't put on any course or anything, that just kind of happens on the back end. All right, so let's move on a little bit. I mentioned earlier that we have all ages. I mean, are from 18 to 60. You know, every students who are just beginning their journey in the IT field, the students who are seasoned executives that just want to take it to the next level and become executive. So based off that, you've probably along the way have been a working adult. You've probably had maybe some IT certifications. You've had some on-the-job training. You've done a lot of these things in the past, and you're just trying to take it to the next step and get your undergraduate degree or your graduate degree. Because of that, we want to give you credit for that. We want to reward you for the hard work you've done throughout your career. We do that through credit for prior learning. The way this works, this is a really unique opportunity. There's a path that we give where you can get college credit, typically for electives, for some of these type classes. The way it works is certain classes, typically electives, like I said, can be waived and you'll get a full credit for it. That's a benefit to you. Number one, you don't have to take that class. You get that 3-hour credit. And number two is a significant discount. You're saving a lot of money. So how it works, you will take a self-paced class and you'll learn how to create a portfolio. And in this portfolio, you'll write a very detailed account of your previous training, whether it was military training or on the job or IT certification classes or things you've done in the past or other classes you've taken professionally. You may have taken professional classes that you didn't gain college credit. You'll write that up in your portfolio, and you'll also submit artifacts that prove that learning mastery. Artifact could be a certificate of completion or professional certification, things like that. You put that in your portfolio, and it will be reviewed by our faculty. And if it's approved, you'll get credit for that class. And we have a list of classes that you can apply for. This is a significant advantage. And for the undergrad students, you can receive up to 24 credits using this method. And for a graduate student, you can receive up to 6 credits. All right, and I'm going to turn it over to our esteemed academic advisor, Mr. Dan Rahe. Talk about how you can apply and become part of the family.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Yeah, so applying simple. On our website, sopa.tulane.edu/apply. It's the apply button at the top of the page. Pretty much complete the applications, pretty straightforward, and an essay if applicable. That's for the graduate programs. The application fees are $40 for undergraduate and $50 for graduate. By attending this webinar today, when you apply, your application fee will be waived. You'll need to upload a clear image of a government ID, like a driver's license or a military ID, something like, or not a military ID, a driver's license, I think. They don't want to see the military ID. And then you need to send transcripts directly from your prior schools to us. So So a lot of schools are doing it electronically nowadays. And the other option, if the school doesn't do that, is to have them sent by regular mail, basically. If you send them electronically on the application, there'll be the email address of where to send it to and everything. It's the SOPA records at tulane.edu. And then, you know, as your transcripts are coming in, you know, they'll be added to your admissions file. And then once everything is in, you know, you'll be admitted and receive an offer of admission and all that good stuff. Next slide. Yeah, the graduate application requirements. You will need a BA or BS degree in one of the STEM majors, basically, whether that be in mathematics, computer information systems, computer science, information sciences, engineering, or statistics. Those are all reviewed by Dr. Riles and Professor Russo. Or another option is a BA without a computing major or significant computing coursework, but you have 3 to 5 years of professional experience that you can show. And that, again, is all reviewed by the directors. And then you need to have a grade point average of at least 3.0 on a 4.0 scale generally to be admitted into the program. And the last thing you'll submit for that, in addition to the transcripts and all that stuff, of course, too, is a resume or curriculum vitae. Our deadlines are essentially 2 weeks prior to each of the semesters starting. Excuse me. So for the fall, the last day to apply, that's just the last day to submit the application. If your transcripts trickle in a couple of days later, that's fine. But the last day to go online and submit the application itself is August 15th. Of course, the sooner the better, so you can get everything in and situated. And then for undergraduate advising, you can contact me. You know, to let's work on getting your transcripts evaluated and getting all that stuff done so I can give you some proper course recommendations for courses to take in the fall. The graduate program's a little simpler with, you know, it only being 30 credits, 10 classes. So that's a little bit easier to work with. But basically 2 weeks prior, fall is August 15th. For the spring, the deadline to apply is January 1st. And for the summer, the deadline to apply is May 15th. As far as affordability, Ralph mentioned it earlier too, and you know, you get to be a part of Tulane. Our tuition starting in the fall is $524 per undergraduate credit, which comes out to $1,572 for a 3-credit-hour class. Most of the classes, with the exception of a couple, are all 3-credit-hour classes. Graduate tuition is $1,078 per credit, so that's about $3,200 for a 3-credit-hour class. Financial aid is an option. We have offer financial aid assistance to help pay the educational costs for the students that qualify. The financial aid process is all handled directly through financial aid. They have a website with a tab for current and prospective students of our school. Their website is financialaid.tulane.edu, and there's a SOPA box on the top of the page for current and prospective students, and it goes over how the whole application process works, meet your financial aid advisor, submitting your FAFSA, and all that basic stuff there. That's all done through them directly. And the types of aid are grants, loans. If you are qualified for, you know, being active duty, military, or if you're a veteran, a teacher, first responder, they all receive a 20% discount off of their tuition. And there's a form you'd submit at the beginning of each semester for that to then receive that 20% discount. And scholarships, we have a few available scholarship opportunities as well, essentially depending on the program that the students are interested in and applying to. So I'll send it back to Ralph. If y'all have any questions, go ahead, put them in the chat, or, you know, unmute yourself and let us know.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. So it is our QA portion of the presentation. You folks want to pop any questions into that chat box, please do so now. In the meantime, if you're capable of coming off mute and you just want to tell us who you are and where you're calling in from, that it'd be interesting to meet you folks. Somebody want to start? I guess we'll start alphabetically. I guess that's Aaron. Aaron, do you want to tell us where you're calling in from if you've got access to? You apparently do not have access to. Okay, DeAndre, do you want to say hi and tell folks where you're calling in from? All right. Well, not having much
Hello.
luck with
How
that.
you doing? Sorry, I couldn't get it off of mute. This is DeAndre.
Uh,
Hi, I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
nice. Thanks for joining us, DeAndre.
For having me.
Well, if you got any questions, put them in the box or just shout them out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Nicole, are you able to jump off mute and say hi?
Hi, I'm living in Kentucky, originally from Baton Rouge, and decided I wanted to attend a college that was closer to where I'm from. So Louisiana's always in my heart, so that's why I was looking and seeing this would be a great opportunity.
Great. Thank you, Nicole. If you've got any questions, shout them out or type them in. Benjamin, did you want to come off mute and say hi? Maybe not.
Hi, this is Ben. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Ben.
Hi, I'm in Austin, Texas.
Thanks for calling in, Ben. Jace, did you want to say hi?
Sure. My name's Jace Ubal. I'm actually just on the other side of the lake in Covington, Louisiana. Currently work for a cybersecurity company in sales, so just wanting to expound on that a little bit more in the technology world and maybe even get out of sales.
Yeah, great. It'd be great to have you, Jace. Joshua, did you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'm calling from the DC area. Yeah, just interestingly, about 10 years ago, I was accepted in the EMBA program. They got pulled back into government work and never circled back up until now. Life has kind of provided an opportunity to jump back in. So, like I said, I was impressed with Tulane back then and still impressed with them. So thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. We'll try to earn that reputation every day with you folks. So I'm not seeing any questions in the box. So with that, I want to say thank you everybody for joining. My email address is on the slide right in front of you there. So
we got a question in there for MPS.
Oh, there you go. Hey, DeAndre, if you want to pursue an MPS degree and apply a certificate towards degree completion, okay, that's what we say on our website is that you contact me. So DeAndre, I've got an email from you already. I'll be answering it as soon as this meeting is over. And so if you don't have that's a good question though, to expound on right here. If you don't have a technical background and you want to come in for our master's program, we've got something called a cyber tech fundamental certificate. They're graduate courses, but if you take this certificate, it's 6 courses. We're going to teach you all the fundamentals needed. And then if you graduate that certificate with a B or better, then we're going to admit you into the master's program. So if you're a career changer and you really don't have the educational or experiential background to get into a graduate IT or graduate cybersecurity program, you could still get in. We would just put you into this graduate technology foundations certificate, and that certificate will get you everything you need and prepare you to go right into the master's program. So I think you can't do both simultaneously though, DeAndre. You would take the fundamental certificate first, then when you obtain the certificate with a 3.0, at that point we'd let you into the full-on master's program. So there is a path here, even if you don't have an IT background, to a master's degree. And of course, if you're here for a bachelor's degree, we'd love to have you. DeAndre, I hope that answered your question. I'm going to respond to you. Oh, good. I'll respond to the email anyway, DeAndre. No problem. Well, if no one else has a question, I'm going to say thank you, everybody. Time's almost up, and thanks everybody for joining, and stay safe in these crazy times. And I hope I see your applications coming past my desk. I think we can help. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.